Alright, hello everyone. I am Plunkera, and we're going to continue drawing Manticore today. Today was very exciting for me when I went to go look at the picture again after not looking at it for a while, because today was the first day that I was actually pretty happy with how it looked and didn't just immediately kind of cringe looking at my own work. Sometimes it takes a little while to do that. So when I looked at it, some of the first things that jumped out at me was that I really needed to fix her pigtails now. I think I'm actually just going to draw them again, because so much has changed. I think it'll be easier just to kind of send them out. I'm going to let them droop down just a little bit. Make her continue just to look a little bit sad. Let me double check what Manticore looks like again. If you're never 100% sure, it's always a good idea just to take a look at your reference again. Oh boy, we'll see how I do today, because I did not get very much sleep last night. So I'll be doing my best today. Just have them kind of stick out and maybe a little bit of a more downward angle to them. Make Manticore look a little bit more sad. Yeah. Something like that. And then the other thing that I was thinking about doing was asking myself, do I need all this extra space out the side here? Because I'm not sure I do. A little bit in here. Maybe a little bit off the bottom too. Somewhere around here. Let's take a look. How does that look? So, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking both at the picture itself around here, and I'm also looking at my thumbnail up here. I do enjoy having this little thumbnail up there. Makes it just a little bit easier for me to get an idea of the overall composition. Alright. And just because I'm a little bit neurotic about this, I always like to round it off to an even number. Oops. Need to unlink those, because I do not want it to be to scale. There we go. So just make those numbers a little bit nice for the... because I can. For the sake of my own neuroticism. Okay. So right now I'm still just going through and fixing a couple of things that were bothering me when I first looked at the picture again. There's actually not too many, like I said. I am becoming much happier with how it looks over today, and today was the first day where I was actually pretty happy with how it looked overall. Got to make sure that I actually like that size change. Because this one I'm not quite sure on, so you'll find that I will often scroll through my undo history. If I'm not sure, I'll just go back and forth between 2 points. Just to double check. But yes, I think that's good. And then the other thing I wanted to do was... So I kind of like the perspective on her bangs here, but I think I made it just a little bit too strong. I'm gonna take all of this. It's like her head's tilted a little bit, but not that much. So we're just gonna scooch it over just a little bit. And then I'm gonna merge some of the parts that I'm just not as much of a fan of. Probably around here. Make it look a little bit more like Manticore. So her bangs have a specific kind of I guess, quality to them. And they have a particular way they look, and I do put it into my own style somewhat. But if I want it to look like Manticore, I kind of have to respect what the initial artist drew as well. That's just something that's true with fan art. You want people to be able to recognize them for that character. And you gotta recognize kind of how the original artist drew them. Apply some of the same features. So here I'm rounding out the bangs on the side here, because Manticore's bangs are a bit round. And just because of where the hairline is, I do think I have to make them just a little bit lower. Tilt them just this way just a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit to follow the contours of her face, or of her head, a little bit more. It's okay if the top of her head looks just a little bit big. We're supposed to be looking down at her from above, so it should look a little bit big. I think having her hair in her eyes like this is kind of cute. I think I want a little bit less around here, though. Have this eye a little bit more clear and have this eye a little bit more hidden. I think that's pretty cute. We'll just lift up this bang a little bit. Get it to kind of be as round as they are in Manticore's official art. There we go. Something like that. And then this bang kind of comes up like this. This should be on top. So I think I want it to be kind of like this. So I think I want these center bangs to be on top of these side bangs. So I'm actually going to make it look more like this. And just like over here. This should follow this a little bit more, I think. Maybe. We'll see. I might actually like the way it looked before better. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I like it better like this. So we're gonna leave it like that. Make some, like, a little bit rounder. Let's actually round off this a little bit more. Manticore's bangs are pretty round. Okay. That was most of the stuff that was bothering me. I'm still not entirely satisfied with their pigtails here. So let's work on them just a little bit more. I think they might still just be a little bit too big, since they are kind of behind her head. I'm not going to see much of them, but that's okay. Alright. Now I want to work on her lower body and hands a bit more. One thing that I was noticing was that her shoulders seemed very broad. I don't actually think we should see this side at all. There we go, that's a little bit better. Do we see any, maybe a little bit peeking out right here? Yeah. So most of what we see is just from her hood, which I still think looks okay. I think a lot of making the hood look good is just going to come from shading. Maybe I should do a little bit of that right now. And after that, I want to get her hands right. Yeah, that's right. Today, we're going to do hands. Like yesterday, I struggled with the jaw, but I actually don't find hands to be too bad for the most part. Just a little bit more purple in that. Oh yeah, that's a great color right there. But yeah, I've personally never had as much trouble with hands as I have stuff like arms or the jawline and stuff like that. So here I want to make her hood just look a little bit more like it's got folds and it's kind of folding around. Some stuff in here. Some of this is in the back. That's okay. I'll draw on that separately. Alright. We're going to take another look at the floof here. I might be able to make this look just a little bit more interesting. Right now I think it's a little bit boring. So we're going to add some more folds and curves. Just to make it look a little bit more dynamic. Like it's kind of resting on her. With her shoulders a little bit narrower, I do think I actually have to push this side in a little bit. Something like that. Probably the same with the other side, so we'll do that now. This side will need a little bit of correction since I cropped the image and cut off part there, but that's alright. I'll just draw it again. No big deal. We'll make this side a little bit more interesting too. Add a couple more folds. Okay. And we'll try to follow some of those folds that I just drew. Just a little bit. So you can see here, this part is kind of dipping in. So I'm trying to make it look like this part is kind of being pushed outward a little bit. To match those contours. It just, unfortunately, part of it is on the other side. Or on the other layer. So I'll have to adjust there too. It's okay, we'll do that in just a second. One thing at a time. If you try to do too much at once, you'll definitely get overwhelmed. So, just take it easy, one step at a time. Eventually what you make will look great. You just gotta believe. And you have to remember, today was the first day where I looked at everything I did yesterday and actually liked it. Past couple of days, I've been kind of... there's a lot of things I don't like. But I just kept trying. Just tried again. And now I have something that I like. That's always a really nice feeling. First day when you wake up and you're just like, oh hey, my drawing actually looks pretty good today. I'm not sure if I like that, but we'll leave it there for now. Gonna work on her hands a little bit. So when I do hands, I often use my own hands as a reference. And so one thing I noticed when I was making this kind of pose myself, that my fingers actually go more like this. And press together like that. One thing that also helps me is I make a layer for the fingernails. And they'll kind of help me figure out how the fingers are rotating and all of that jazz. So I'm gonna go make the pose again real quick. So when I do it, my thumbs stick out kind of like this. kinda... probably a sharper angle than that. I have my hand out, my left hand out here real quick, and I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing this color, so we're gonna make it bright real quick. We're just gonna make it a completely different color so I can see what I'm doing. Something that's not completely divorced from being hand color, that I just cannot recognize it as a hand. Maybe somewhere around here. We'll start here for now. For something like this, I think I might make my life a little bit easy and draw half of it. This one's a little bit more prominent, so I think I'm only going to draw one of the hands. Then I will duplicate it and mirror it to the other side. Just to save myself some effort. So I'm going to make the pose again. Out with my real hands instead of my anime girl hands. Close my eyes, picture it, make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. The one thing that I always do, I have kind of a bad habit of, is drawing my hands backwards. And that is with the side that my index finger and thumb are on, ending up on the other side. Probably because I very often use my own hand as reference. And so sometimes I just accidentally draw them backwards. I'm gonna draw a little bit here just so I can kind of picture where the other hand will be when it comes time. I'm just going to put that in a separate layer so I don't have to worry about it. There we go. But yes. So I'm observing here that the index finger and thumb are pointed towards me. And that's important. Because that means that the index finger and thumb are going to be what's pointed towards Manticore, and thus the part that's pointed towards us is going to be the side with their pinky. Which means that, let me find a good color. We're going to see the rest of her fingers, like this. Whoa. And they kind of are going to fold down like this. Something like that. Don't mind the colors, I'll fix them all later. I just need to be able to see what I'm doing. And I don't like this one. We're gonna make it a little bit lighter. There, that should be good. Just pretend like she's wearing a mitten for a little bit. Oh yeah, we'll see all of her other fingers. With the index finger and thumb being in the back. And that also means that when the time comes, this will be shadowed. It'll be like this. I guess it might just be easier if I... Oh, no, this is fine. Oh. Now I want to put the thumbnail on to kind of help me get the perspective there. It was something like this. This one was much thinner. Just kind of seeing a sliver of it. Kind of sitting on the top. And this is why the fingernails always help me with hand perspective. When you draw it like that, you can kind of see where things go. Okay, we're starting to look okay, I think. It's fine if it's a little bit messy. Oh, did I lock the layer? I did lock the layer. While I was adding some other stuff. Gonna lower the thumb just a little bit. We're around there. And then we kind of see we're connected to the wrist, but not very much. Most of that's going to be hidden by her coat sleeves there. Right? Now let's try to get a feel for her other fingers. Well, actually, you know what? No, before we do that, I want to get the colors correct here. It's going to be like this. We're going to have shadows down here and throughout here. And around her wrist, where it's covered by her sleeve. Okay. And I'm not ready to commit to where the shadows are going to be on the head, but I want to draw them, so I'm just going to draw a new layer. Or create a new layer. And we're just going to quickly brush in where it'll fall. Kinda somewhere around there. That's good enough. Alright. So with that, now I can make these a more hand-like color. Well, actually, we're just gonna go straight in. We're just gonna go straight in. Alright, I'm gonna go make the pose in real life again, so this way I can see how her other fingers kind of fell. One thing I noticed when I was making it the first time was that the pinky kind of came down toward the thumb, but I'm not quite sure, I don't quite remember where the other ones went, so I'm gonna go take a look. Get my colors. Now I'm gonna make it again. Yes, they actually bend down quite a lot when I do the pose. So it's kind of... I feel like... Yeah, looking at it... The ring finger... That is like almost 90 degrees there. Let me... Yes. So it bends more like this. And this will kind of inform how I draw the rest of the fingers, so I really want to get this one right. Extends about to where my thumb is. So something like this. This one will kind of go like this. And right now it's just kind of a mess. That's okay. This one's going to cover up this one. And we'll draw some of this in just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Alright. And then the pinky just kind of did its own thing over here. I think this one should be a little bit straighter. Kinda over here. We can just kind of group them together. Sometimes it just makes it a little bit more straightforward drawing fingers when you just draw them as a group. I know I'm going to be merging these layers down eventually, so I'm not too worried about which layer I'm drawing on. Whatever helps me get them right. It's fine. Right, let's get more fingernails to help me with perspective. You make the pose again. I want to see how the fingers connect with the palm. I feel like the thumb should be actually angled just a little bit more upward. Okay. We'll get the nail back on too. Oops. That's right. I have to be more careful because I have more nails now. There we go. This one I might have to put underneath, but we'll do it now. We're gonna just put this one on a new layer, keep my life simple. No need to make it complicated. I can merge these layers I don't need later. Alright. Right now I think we're seeing a little bit too much of the front of the nail here. I can't see. Okay, Manticore now has black nail polish, so I can see what I'm doing. Everything is just so pastel. It's been so long since I've drawn in pastels. So what I did there was I just quickly hit Control-I on my keyboard to invert the colors. So this way, it's like I found white too bright, so let's use black. It's fine. I can make the colors whatever I want them to be later. What's important is to let me see what I'm doing. I feel like these fingers should be more on top of each other. Look at my palm one more time. I don't think we see that much of it. No, we don't. Clean that up just a little bit. I think I will put more shadow color down here. Okay. Just kind of start getting it to look right. Everything just kind of starts out as little blobs. And eventually we make them look nice. So they're just not quite so blob-like anymore. Okay. Go back to fixing this. Because yeah, these are definitely all in the wrong place. We're gonna have to clean that up a bit. I think the fingers should be a bit more on top of each other. Oh, I'm actually just gonna put this one completely in shadow. Kind of point up the fingertip. Gonna hide her body. Because I don't feel like changing colors right now. There we go. So we'll move this back down to a better spot, which I think is going to be around here. That looks a bit better. Just gonna put this one completely in shadow. Then I'll draw the other ones on top. So our middle finger should be the one in the back here. I'll take another look at the pose. Because, yeah, they do extend down. Kind of angled this way. Let's get the other joints in here. I'll make it a... I might have made the finger a little bit too long now. We'll see. But if I did, we'll just fix it. It's not a big deal. But no, it looks like I got it about right. Kinda erase some stuff we don't need over here. The hands are going to be very important to this pose, so I'm making sure to try to get them looking very nice. So this is going to be the ring finger. Pinky I'm going to do on a separate layer in its own color. Ring finger's not that much shorter than the middle finger. And some people it can actually be longer. You know what? We'll do hers shorter. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I'm gonna put some more shadows on the thumb here. Just so I can see what I'm doing, I'll clean up all these shadows later. So I want to make her fingertip look nice. It helps me kind of figure out the direction that the fingers are going when I know where the fingertip is. So I think it's kind of like this. I just need to get the thickness correct, because right now I think it's a little bit too thin. Heck yeah. Make this part correct now. So when I'm drawing hands on anime characters, often I'll only draw 2 joints. 2 finger joints instead of 3. It kind of simplifies it a little bit, and frankly, I do not think it hurts the quality of the hands at all. So we'll just draw my 2-jointed finger right here. Get that joint in there. Let me put some more shadow colors down here. Just so I can kind of see how things are looking. It doesn't need to be perfect because I know that I'm going to be drawing the pinky on top. But I want to get the general idea down. Okay. Now I'm going to pick a bright color for the pinky. I'm just going to take this bright purple. That's going to kind of connect over here. And the pinky, at least mine, doesn't like to bend quite as much when I do hand poses. So it always ends up a little bit straighter than the others. Just taking a look at my hand real quick. This when I do it, the pinky actually kind of wants to go underneath my ring finger, huh? Let me do that again. Yeah, how strange. Well, this is why it can be useful to actually do the pose yourself. Because I was noticing that like the pinky was on top for the most part. And right near the bottom, the tip just kind of wanted to go underneath here. And I thought that was kind of funny. So I might do that too. Here. Just have it go and be mostly on top, but and that little bit that's just kind of wanted to tuck itself underneath. Or maybe that's more complicated than I want to draw. We'll see. Sometimes it's better just to keep things simple with these. Sometimes these little subtle touches can be cool, but sometimes they just don't read well. And I think this is one of those times where it just won't read well. So we're just gonna draw it normally. But it was just a funny little observation. Something like that. A little bit more on top. Yeah. I think that looks okay. Okay. So we're gonna turn the body back on. I'm gonna take a look out here. Because right now I'm becoming a little bit concerned that my shadows are all kind of dull. I think these ones are okay, this one's okay. I think these will be okay if I make the ones further back a little bit darker, so let's do that now. Let's just add a little bit more shadow in the background here. So even though it's a nice bright pastel image, shadows are what makes things interesting. If you don't have enough shadows, everything just kind of starts to meld together. Like, I mean, look at my hand here. You can barely tell the difference between the hand, the face, and the body. I definitely need some more interesting shadows here and there. We're just starting with the hair because... why not? Why not start with the hair? It's what I want to do. I don't like this color though. Not at all. So maybe I should do it like this. I'm gonna pick gray, purple, and multiply. Oh, that's really dark though. Well, that's fine. We'll start there. And we'll just bring it back. I think I might want a little bit more saturation on that. Oh, we'll go back down here. Here. Okay. First we'll bring it back here. And then we'll bring it back here. Be somewhere around there. How's this color? Oh, oops. I did not put it back to normal. There we go. How's this? Obviously it's gonna look a little bit weird right now, but do I like the color? Let me get her pigtails. I don't know. Might need to mess around with that some more. Okay, sometimes if it doesn't work out, you can just kind of add some more of the original color into it. And it'll become closer to what you wanted. How does that compare? Yeah, probably want a little bit darker, maybe. Just like I don't want it to be too saturated. Just because I do think, as much as I do love lots of saturation in my colors, I just don't think it works very well with how pastel everything else about the hair is. Maybe somewhere around here. The darkest of the darks. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Okay. I think I might have figured out what was bothering me so much about her pigtails, though. We're gonna try again. Manticore's pigtails curl out this direction. They don't just go straight down. And I think that goes out a little bit too far. We're just gonna bring it back a little. I think the top of her head might be a little bit too high. So let's push that down just a little bit. Use liquefy. Do it. That'll just let me push. I think I was drawing the head angle a little bit more extreme in some areas than I should have been. So we'll just brush that in here. Okay, now we'll use a proper brush to kind of round it out. Because of how much the front bangs floof out, I don't think I actually want the back of her head to show through there, so we'll just wrap it around like this. I don't want too much. Oh, I still have it locked. Herpaderp. Don't want too much to be shown over here. I want a little bit. I do think it is funny, the things that you have trouble with. So many people describe the troubles with hands. And I just do not have the same troubles. I mean, you can see, it's not the hardest hand pose, but it was a fairly complicated one. It's already, like, basically roughed out for me. Already mostly looking fine. The index finger might be a bit long. But that's about the only complaint I have for the moment. I had the pigtails again for just a moment while I get everything in the back here there looking good. Don't really like how it's rubbing up against the top like that, but nothing a little bit of cropping can't fix. I'll just get that in there. Probably gonna have to move the ears to be on top here. I'm actually gonna do that right now. So I want the ears to be behind her front hair, but above this back hair. Sticking out just a little bit too much. Gonna push her a little bit higher. Just so it doesn't... Did you see when it's like right up against the edge like that? It almost starts to feel a little itchy. Like it's weird, it's kind of uncomfortable. But if you just crop it, so it's just a little bit on there, it'll feel better. So if something about your image just feels wrong, weird, uncomfortable, tight, itchy, and you can't identify it, make sure you don't have any parts of your drawing just rubbing right up against the edge. Either push it so it's completely off or move it a little further down so it's not bumping up against the edge. For whatever reason, it just feels a little uncomfortable when you do that. It's a very strange phenomenon. I always wonder why things like that happen. Man, my nose has been so itchy today. My goodness. If my model looks like it's spazzing out a little bit, it's because I keep having to scratch my nose. And putting my hand in front of my face does make the model spaz. Okay. And we'll try again on the pigtails. It's okay. I can draw them as many times as I want. Eventually, I'll get them to look the way I want them to. I'm gonna probably deviate just a little bit from Manticore character design, just so I can get some nice hair shapes. Yeah, I think this is good. Make it a bit thicker. Let's try to get some nice flowy shapes in. And the other one is gonna probably connect about here, kind of come out. And we'll just let this one do whatever it wants because it's mostly behind her. And it's just gonna go off screen. Maybe something like this. Alright. Now we'll just draw in some of the things that got cut off when I pushed it up. And where's the shirt? Right there. There it is. We'll get all that in there. And the necklace. Push that down. And then the sleeves. There we go. Get this side too. And the back. And there we go. Okay. The shadow's looking a little bit better. Stretch. Or to stay limber while the drawing. Put in a few lighter colors in the back here. I think I'll do the same for the pigtails. It's kinda... This one's gonna stay completely in shadow, so I don't think I'll put too many there. Maybe just a little bit up here. Alright. I think I want to start putting in your highlights now. So we'll pick a color. For highlights, I always like to go toward yellow. Just as a choice. Yeah, that should be a decent enough color. So I'm not going to make it very clean or anything. I'm just going to map in some stuff. Maybe a few around here. I just kind of want to get a basic understanding of where some stuff is. Just because the hair is looking a little bit flat to me, and it's bothering me a little bit, so I need to do something. This way I can more clearly see what needs to be fixed and everywhere else. I still worry about whether or not I have enough contrast. Make them a little bit lighter. I want them to just be white. Maybe not quite, but we can get pretty close. Her hair is really, really light. me not being entirely satisfied with the shadow color. Let's see if I want to make it a little bit darker. Let's see. Like this. I like this. I like that a little bit better. And we'll just... Yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Which means I need to make you just a little bit darker. Just a little. I don't want it to be too dark. I do feel like I am showing a little bit too much at the top of the head here. Like, I'm pretty sure we should see some, just because we are supposed to be looking at her from above. But I think this might be a little bit too much. Adjusting pigtails a little bit. With the other changes that I've made. Maybe something like this. Maybe today isn't the best day to be thinking about proportions. Just because I did not sleep very well and I am a little bit sleepy. It's always hard to do these kinds of adjustments when I'm a little bit sleepy. But I do think it is looking pretty good. Oh, we'll just do some other stuff. I can work on the hand a little bit more. Okay, so how do I want to handle these shadows? Like, this color I think looks around the neck. I think it looks good for where it is, but it would be way too dark if I brought it up here. So we'll have to find a different color. I'll just bring it back a little bit. Maybe a little bit more over this way. Want to be more saturated or less saturated? More, I think. Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit better brighter, but no, I just don't like that color. Okay. Alright. I'll find it. This one's okay-ish. It's just a little bit strong. Maybe it'd be better if I did it like this. Right now I'm messing with the opacity on the brush just because I feel like it's a little bit strong, but I just need something just a little bit more than what I'm getting here. Just a little, not too much. I guess I can make the adjustment myself. Yeah, I think somewhere around here might work. Let's give it a try. This is going to be the shadows from the fingers. Oh, I still have my brush set to soft light. Oopsie. shadows. You can't have that. And then just as a little bit of dividing way to divide it, I do want some shadows up top, even though it's not strictly realistic. Just keep it thin. Alright. How's everything looking? Okay, now we have a decent color here. We'll go back in and we'll add it to... Right. I don't need you anymore, so we'll just get rid of you because you're confusing me. And we'll just go back in and add some of these stronger shadows. This one's all the way in the back. I think I want it to be mostly the strongest shadow. This one I think I want to have some mostly in the shadow, a little bit of light right on top here. And then the pinky is going to be almost completely in light. Alright, and then we'll go back down here. And we'll add this dark color throughout here. And I think that should be fine. Maybe a little bit over here. Alright. Go put the nails on the other fingers. Don't need to see quite that much of the nail. It's still facing kind of sideways. There we go. Don't think I'm quite ready to merge it down, but we're pretty close. Just made her hands a little bit too small. That's pretty normal. Like I said, I'm not great at proportions. I just kind of fake it till I make it. Okay. Get rid of everything on this side. And I should, in theory, just be able to do something like this. I'll get the hands looking correct. I can adjust the sleeves afterward. Let me just position where I want the hands to be relative to her face. Everything else is easier to move. And then we'll redraw these shadows. This is why I didn't want to commit to drawing the shadows in the hands and her head just yet. And why we're just kinda using a new layer to just smear a few on. Just so I can get the gist of what I'm trying to do. So something like that. think I might actually want to curl these fingers a little bit more. Just push them downward a little bit. And if that looks good, I'll do the same. Oops, wrong layer. If that looks good, I'll do the same for the other one when the time comes. Wait, I do think it looks a bit better. The finger's a little bit more curled down. Okay. Gonna push things up just a little bit because I think her body's looking a little small. I want to make it just a little bit bigger. Since I trimmed a lot of her shoulders at the start today. I think I trimmed a little bit too much. That's alright. Nothing I can't fix. Shrink the head down just a tiny little bit. Something like that. Alright. Need to fix coat here. And inside here. I think I'm actually just gonna get rid of the inside there. We'll see a little bit over here. And with that, we have hands. We might actually be able to start cleaning this up a little bit tomorrow. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna lower her eyes just a little. Maybe not. So we'll take a quick look here. I actually think I want to rotate her head just a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. Alright. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be able to start cleaning things up a little. But I think I want to fix a few colors first. I do like how nice and bright the sky is, but I want it to contrast with her just a little bit. So I'm going to darken it just a little. We'll make up for it by upping the saturation to keep it nice and bright. And the same for the sand. I'm fine with the way the sun looks there. I'll darken the sand just a little. I just want to make Manticore stand out just a little bit more. Contrast is what makes everything look great. we're just gonna darken everything just a little. We'll use this same color for all the bushes. Alright. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Go double check. It was like that. No, it's like that. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. It's looking a little bit washed out before. And then I think the last thing... Maybe not the last, but... Probably gonna wrap up for today soon. So I think I want to bend the thumb just a little. It's probably not entirely accurate, but that's good enough for now. I'll fix it when I go to clean things up. The exact location of the things like the nails and the angles of the fingers and stuff is a problem for future me. Current me just needs to make sure everything is kind of going in the right places. And that we're on the right track. Gonna push the front hair around a little bit again. Just very gently, very carefully. I'll leave her nails black for now, just so I can see. I'll make them look more like fingernails when the time comes. Turn on the foreground. We are gonna use a quick leaf brush down here. Or a leaf brush, is that you? Yeah. Now this has opacity to it, so I don't think it suits the style very well, but I just need something a little leafier. In order to be able to see this properly. Just a little bit leafier. Doesn't quite want to put the leaves where I want them to go. That's okay. I can outsmart the painting program. I'll get leaves where I want them. There's nothing Krita can do about it. Okay. I just wanted something a little bit more leaf-shaped, so I could kind of see how all of it was going. I wonder if I can pull anything from up here. I get, like, some of the leaves that are... Oh my. Yes, I can. I've never actually tried something like this before, so this is new and exciting for me. Why is it not? It's acting like I still have an active selection. Thank you. I'm not quite sure how I want it to look, so I'm just kind of trying out some different configurations. See if there's one I like. And we'll just clear a little bit. Go back and forth just a little. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, I think that's where I will leave it for today. Thank you for watching, and if there's anything that you'd like me to take a look at, whether that be drawing, painting, writing, coding, game development, any creative pursuit, feel free to tag me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll take a look. Maybe leave some comments. So, I'll see you next time.